Welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Tanelia. I am very excited about today's video. We're going to be doing two looks, one with each of the new mini palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills. We have the Mini Sultry and the Mini Modern Renaissance. I don't know what it is, guys. I'm having such a difficult time saying the word Renaissance, like the word just will not roll off my tongue, but we have the Mini Modern Renaissance and the Mini Sultry, and these are supposed to be mini versions of the original OG palettes. Fortunately, I do not have the OG palettes. They came out way before I was ever into makeup. I've only really been into makeup about 3 or 4 years now. Now, I will say that I have been tempted to pick up both the Modern Renaissance and the Soft Glam, but because of the fact that the launches are, they're really, older launches, I don't know, I've just never really taken the plunge. In fact, the Fall Romance palette that just came out like a month or two ago is my first ever experience with an ABH eyeshadow palette formula, if you can believe it. I have used the blushes and the highlighters and some of the other products. I think I've actually used a couple of lipsticks as well. But the eyeshadow palette formula, I've just never used before, but I really loved the Fall Romance. So when I saw these, I thought, you know what the heck, we'll go ahead and we'll grab these two. They retail for $29. They have 9 pans in them each. The original palettes had 14 pans. Let's take a look at the Modern Renaissance first. This is kind of like your daytime palette with your daytime neutral tones. There's some like orangey tones, some peachy tones in here. You have some pink tones in here, and you can deepen everything up with this little chocolate brown. I think there are only 1 or 2 shimmers in this palette. This one is like really matte heavy, so I'm probably going to do like a mostly matte look using this palette. Now, like I said, I don't have the original palettes, but when you look at the original color story, I'll drop it right here. I did take like screen caps of the original palettes. As you can see, the color stories are basically the same. There's really nothing missing. When I look at the original color story and then I look at the mini, I feel like I said, I'm not missing anything. All the shades, all the tones that matter to me, the ones that are important that I would reach for, I feel like are in this palette. I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not having the original OG. I feel like the mini one is going to meet all of my needs. Same thing with the Sultry. The Sultry is more like your nighttime, evening, going out on the town kind of smoky palette. This one is going to be absolutely gorgeous going into November and the fall. I will definitely be pulling this one out. I think this is going to be really pretty going into the holidays as well. Once again, you have 9 pans. The original have 14. You're looking at the color story for the original palette, and once again, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I feel like all of the tones and the shades and the formulas that matter that I would reach for out of the original palette are in this one. Don't feel like I'm losing anything. I feel like this is going to have everything that, I want, everything I'm looking for to put together a look using this palette. Now, obviously, the one thing that I cannot compare is the formula since I don't have the original palettes. There's no way for me to know if they're the same, if they're similar, if they're completely different, if they're the new mini palettes or revamped formula. There's no way for me to know that, unfortunately. But looking at the color stories, I feel like they look like they're pretty much the same. So let's go ahead and jump into the Modern Renaissance. First thing I'm going to do is prime my eyelids using my Colourpop eyeshadow primer. This is the Party Proof in Caramel, you guys. This has just become my current favorite eyeshadow primer. Now, the palettes do not have shade names, but to start off, I'm going to go into this kind of an orangey peachy tone and lay that into the crease. This is the one that I think I'm going to put on the outer corner, but let's start here. I'm just using my pointed crease brush from Real Techniques. I feel like this is the perfect brush for getting into that crease if you have smaller lid space, if you have hooded eyelids, which I do. I feel like a brush like this is just perfect. We're going to take the B4 from Blend Bunny and we're going to go into this shade just to kind of deepen the outer portion of the crease a little bit more. I think I meant to go into this one first and I started with this one. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to take this one and just use it to kind of deepen the outer portion of the crease just a little bit more. With my detailed blending brush from Beauty Bay, we're going to go into this shade right here and lay it on the outer corner. It is a really pretty, like deep, rich berry shade. Yeah, this palette is going to be perfect for just like everyday neutral looks, especially in the fall, but this would be really pretty in the springtime as well. Now, formula-wise, I will say that I like the formula in the Fall Romance palette a little bit more. Like I said, I cannot say whether or not this formula is like the original Modern Renaissance. I don't know. But comparing it to the Fall Romance, I like the formula in that one a little bit more. These seem to be, the mattes in this one seem to be a little bit more powdery, if that makes any sense. I do like the way they're blending though. It looks really, really pretty. To finish off the mattes, I'm going to take this shade, just kind of lay that across the top, kind of blending that into the brow bone area. Just want to kind of help blend the edges on the top and then brighten the brow bone just a little bit more. Looking at the shimmers, there is exactly one and only one, and it is up here. I would say I'm a little bit disappointed by that. I would like there to be more shimmers in here, at least a couple more, something a little more even like the Sultry palette, because the Sultry palette, there are 4 shimmers in this one, I believe, as opposed to only 1 in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, I'm just going to kind of lay that over the lid, and then for the inner portion going to the inner corner, we're going to dive into the Sultry, and I'm going to take that shade right there. Now if all you're wanting to do is like an everyday, just mostly matte, look, this is going to be perfect, and that's probably what I'm going to be doing. But I tend to do those looks more so in the spring than I do in like the fall and winter, like spring going into the summer. This shimmer is like super creamy and buttery though. I am loving that. It's not like super shiny, super impactful, but I think it has just enough intensity for your everyday, more natural kind of neutral looks. I do need to go back into this shade just a little bit and just kind of deepen and blend that into the mattes, or rather into that shimmer. And I'm going to reach into the Sultry, and we're just going to add that little shimmer just for a little bit, just a little bit more, a little last added touch to the eye look. I don't usually add shadows to the lower lash line because I feel like on me they just tend to look messy and just kind of go everywhere, but I do want to add a little bit of something here. So I'm going to take that same shade from the Sultry and just add a little bit in this inner portion on the bottom there. I am really liking the way that this look came together. I think it's very soft, very natural, very everyday glam. I think it is so freaking pretty. And the fact that it is pretty much all mattes except for the one shimmer doesn't really bother me. I think I could put together some really pretty, just like all matte looks, through the fall, going into the winter, going into the spring. I think this palette will just take me throughout the whole year. I think it is absolutely beautiful. Let me give you my details real quick. For my waterline, I'm using my Colourpop cream gel liner in Exit. I just kind of did like a little bit of a baby wing today. My Artista liner in black. These lashes, these are from Temu. I think they're so pretty. They're just like a really soft kind of a cat eyelash. I think they're so gorgeous. My lips are a combination of my lip pencil from Persona in 90210 and then my matte lipstick from Beauty Bay in Sunset. This is just my favorite nude lip that I have like in my entire collection. But that is going to be the end of look 1 using the Modern Renaissance palette. Now let's move into look 2 using the Sultry palette. Let's dive into putting together a look using the Sultry palette. My eyelids are already primed and ready to go. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to dive into which shade? I think I'm going to take this one and lay that down into the crease. Once again, the palette has no shade names, just like the mini Modern Renaissance. Once again, I am using my pointed crease brush from Real Techniques just to get really into that crease and carve it out. Ooh, I'm liking that shade. It's a very taupey gray, very cool tone. I feel like this palette in general is more on the cool tone side, cool neutral than it is warm, although there are couple of shimmers in here that look like they're more warm, but for the most part it's kind of a cool neutral color story. I'm going to take the E32 brush, this is from AOA Studios, and I'm going to go into this shade and just kind of deepen the outer portion of the crease a little bit more. I'm just going to lay that right into the crease, just on the outer portion. Right in there like that. Ooh, yes. We're definitely going for a more dramatic evening look with this particular look that we're putting together with this palette. Now I'm going to take the deepest shade, which is a black, and I'm going to lay that just on the outer portion here, just to kind of deepen and smoke out just that area. Once again, I'm going to use my Beauty Bay brush. This brush is just perfect for the outer corner. So I've got just a little bit of this shade. I'm just going to lay it right there. Ooh, that is a nice black. Ooh, that's pretty. Nice and rich and deep. Oh, that is nice. That's like a true black. Just softly blend that on the outer corner. Okay, I'm loving that. Do the same thing on this eye. To finish off these mattes though, I do want to add a little something kind of up here to blend it out. Let's go back into this shade just to kind of blend out that area. I'm just going to kind of go right on the outer corner just to kind of blend it all together, add a little bit more smokiness to the look. Going into the shimmers, this shade in the middle is like really, really screaming my name, kind of an icy like platinum tone. But I think I'm going to lay which one? This one on the lid, and then I'm going to take that one into the inner portion. That is really pretty. In the pan, it looks more like brassy warm, but on the lid, as you can see, ooh, I'm loving that. It's definitely more cool tone. That is such a pretty shimmer. Just to amp it up a little bit more, I'm going to take my finger and just going to kind of press it like right in the middle here. I don't want to lay down a glitter base, and kind of tapping it in with your fingers is a good way to like amp up the shine if you just want to like do something really, really quick. To finish off the look, I'm going to take my little flat brush here and go into that center shade. When I did the swatches, this shade was the one that just really oh my God, it's magical. Look at that. So freaking pretty. Alright, so that is going to be it for the mattes for this look. I'm going to go off camera, finish it off, throw liner, lashes, waterline lips. You know the routine, and then we'll come back and just do some final first impression thoughts on both of the palettes. What do you guys think? What are you thinking of this final look? I think it looks so pretty. It's very sultry, just like the palette says, very smoky. Like, this is my, I'm going to go out and paint the town red eye look. I am loving it. I think it looks so freaking beautiful. As far as the details, my liner, my lashes, and my waterline, the exact same ones that I used in the first look. My lips, they're a combination of one of the lip pencils from Blend Bunny. None of the lip pencils have actual names on them, so I have no clue which pencil this is. The liquid lipstick, this is from Profusion. It is the Perfect Pout Soft Matte Lip Cream in Powerful. I realized that I've never used this before. I bought this, I think, when I got the Empowered Butterfly collection, and I've never used it. I don't know why, but it's such a beautiful shade. The formula is really pretty. But yeah, let's talk about these palettes. Between the two, color story formula wise, I like the Sultry more, mainly because of the fact that it has more of an even matte to shimmer ratio. But the mattes in the Modern Renaissance, these are so freaking pretty. I don't know what it is about this formula. The shades, the tones, I have shades and tones similar to these in other palettes in my collection. That's not really anything new. But there was something about this formula I just really enjoyed using. It felt almost luxurious. I felt like the formula was just very soft, very blendable, very easy to use. I didn't really have any issues with any of it. I still like the one in the Fall Romance palette a little bit more, but I really did enjoy using this. These were a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be pulling these out a lot more. Now, if you have the original palettes, the original OG, Modern Renaissance, and Sultry, you do not need these. I'm pretty sure, you know, you have everything you need in those palettes. But if you're like me, you never picked up those palettes, but you're not wanting to like drop the big bucks on palettes that, you know, came out ages ago, these I think would be a wonderful alternative. I really enjoy these. I had a lot of fun playing with these. If you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family and hitting subscribe. Make sure you tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. And you can also follow me on my other socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.